Hey friends. So, big day today. Today was the first day that I have practiced violin with Annalise when she didn't feel like practicing. What's a guy got to do? I've never experienced this before. Resistance in a child to the parental process of gently encouraging their practice? What is this new phenomenon I'm encountering? You can see I'm being a little bit tongue-in-cheek about it, but it was actually a really powerful experience. It was actually really, it kind of stunned me because it had never happened before. And obviously, it's not like I thought this was never gonna happen, but it's like she was like a 4-year-old teenager. Like if you took a teenager and squished him into the body of a 4-year-old, she would lie on the ground, look away, not acknowledge me. I'd ask her to do something, and she'd just kind of slowly do nothing. And it was unsettling because I was like, well, what? I was like, what does it mean? And part of me, especially, we do this in the morning. We practice in the morning, which means she's just gotten up. She was a little tired today. Been a little worn out for a couple days, and I woke her up, right on time. She actually got up pretty quickly, but then I could tell she was dragging a little bit, and as it started to happen, it immediately activated, like, oh, what's happening here? Why is this happening? What does it mean? Something about her connection to this process of the instrument. And the funny thing is, we had her lesson last night with her violin teacher, whom she's completely head over heels in love with. She loves this woman, absolutely, just like can't wait to see her every week. And so we woke up with a bunch of fun new stuff that we learned yesterday that we were going to start doing today, and bam, stonewall, nothing doing, Papa, not having it today. And of course, my first reaction was, well, push, like, let's do this, like we're wasting time. Look, the timer's on, I generally set a timer because it kind of keeps us on track in the morning. And our timer was just ticking away. But it was ultimately, and so then I relaxed and I realized, okay, hold on. Let's not let's not A, blow this out of proportion, and let's not B, fight so hard that we turn this into a major event when really it doesn't need to be a major event. And, but immediately I come face to face with all of the questions that we inevitably ask as parents, like, am I taking my child down a path that they don't want to go down? Am I imposing something that I think they should be doing, but that actually is not intrinsically motivated by them? Blah, blah, blah. Is that fine? That, that like no child would ever learn an instrument unless their parents made them learn it? These are the dialogues that happen internally. And ultimately, I, of course, like any I think sensitive parent, I care what she's intrinsically motivated to explore and do and practice. And at the same time, the discipline of an instrument is something that is learned generally through modeling. You pick it up because somebody around you understands it, or at the very least, you have a parent who understands what practice is. They may not understand what musical practice is, but if they can impart and model and guide the kind of inherent, the consistency and the focus and if they can guide the practice process, then I've seen children learn instruments. I saw a prodigy pianist who was the son of two scientists who, as far as I could tell, were not musical at all, but he was a prodigy pianist. But they clearly had they knew how to usher the practice process so that this young genius could effectively learn everything he needed to learn. But all that is to say, this moment, or this 20-minute period, was really interesting for me because it in a very short time frame, it brought me pretty face to face with all these questions, and ultimately where I landed. And please, if any other parents out there have feedback or advice, I'm all ears. Leave me a comment. Ultimately, where I landed was, I could tell that she was kind of doubling down on her resistance. Like, she was probably not going to do what I wanted her to do. And, it's hard enough to make a child go to bed by force. Try forcing a child to play violin, right? It's not going to happen. There's no, not even if that was possible, it would not be a good thing to do. And it's completely impossible because it's such an intricate process that, like, the child's in resistance. What are you going to do? You got to find a way around that resistance, or you got to let go. And I could tell that even though she was in she dug her heels in pretty good, but she also was looking at me and to me with this questioning gaze presence that sort of seemed to be asking me, without asking it explicitly, am I okay? Do you still love me? Am I here? How are you taking this? How are you taking my resistance? And what I decided is, ultimately, my job is to make this experience of practice, if not a boundlessly, exuberantly joyful one, which it actually very often is. It's often, and I would say usually, animated by real play. But if not that, then at least an experience of positive resonance. Because the last thing I want to do is have a knockdown fight today about it, and then have to get up tomorrow and have that as our most recent history. That's then the most recent event in our process that we have to then kind of come back from. And as I allowed her to just be in resistance, as I allowed her to not have to push through it, she came over and lay her head on me and hugged me, and there was definitely this sense of, I see you, Papa, being invested in my learning or in my doing this, and I don't want to disappoint you. I felt that from her. Obviously, she didn't say that, but that was the sense I got in the way that the energy she gave off as she, steadfastly refused to do what I was asking and just looked at me, like, rolled onto the floor or whatever it was she, whatever position she chose, whatever position of passive resistance she chose. So it just left me with a sense that this process is going deeper. It's going deeper. I'm growing deeper. I'm gaining a deeper understanding of what we're really doing. It was like there was something about her doing this that made me feel like she had grown up. She was an older child now. She wasn't so. She was exercising her choice in this process. She was like, I don't have to do this automatically. What if I don't want to? But and the other thing is, it opens up a conversation around, how do we do this? How do we practice every day? What's the process there? What does it mean to do that even when we don't really feel like it? What's the level of I guess, pliability that we have? So anyway, it was very exciting. It was initially frustrating, and it was ultimately pretty revelatory. I saw my own resistance to practicing showing up. I immediately her energy, it was like it pinged off of mine and gave me an instant reflection of, where do I do this? Where and how do I do this? So, fascinating to work with a young person and watch the developmental process unfold before our eyes. Anyway, I'll report back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow she'll be super happy to play again. But let me know if you have any thoughts. I'm all ears. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.